Hey, what's up? This is Jonah from Rhythmic Mind, here with rapper extraordinaire, freestyle savant, Chain the Message. And the question for today is, how has hip-hop been healing or therapeutic in your life?
So I started rapping and writing when I was 8 years old, and I was getting bullied quite a bit at that time. I've been bullied since forever because I have Asperger's and I have ADHD, which I got diagnosed later, and finally my life made sense.
Mm-hmm. So those symptoms, and I'm sorry for interrupting, but those symptoms were prevalent way before the diagnosis.
Oh yeah, way before. So hip hop was something I used as a coping mechanism as I was growing up. I was always writing, and I would have really visceral lyrics to try to get some of the synergy that I had in my head, like words kind of have like a flavor to me almost. So trying to process my emotions was really difficult because I didn't really know how to connect emotional words, but I could take images and take things that I could express lyrically and then get those emotions processed. So it started really early, and it was just something I kept up, and that's how I ended up battle rapping. I got into this really random series of events where they asked me to rap, and I did, and it was in front of an audience, and I got invited to battle rap off of that, and it was just stuff that I had written from my own therapeutic, like weird rap poetry stuff I had done. So it's always been a part of my coping mechanisms for just trying to understand emotions without being very good at expressing my emotions as a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you right, it sounds like it's really given you access to an emotional understanding and expression that you didn't find anywhere else.
Exactly. Yeah, never found it. And I could hear it in when I was listening to artists, I could hear them doing that. Mm-hmm. And it felt like, oh, these people have a way to get outside of their own heads and to bring that reality of what they're feeling into some other form so they could be free of it. Like you could hear the emotion and the power in people's voices and what their words were painting. And I was like, oh, I want to have that experience too. It seemed cathartic, and it is. Like, so... Right. That's been my experience, and what motivates me as an artist too is to just take the things that are challenging for me to cope with in any other way, except to put them into these more cryptic, emotionally fueled lyrics.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds really powerful.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was always something that was kind of very raw and authentic for you.
Yes.
Like from the jump.
Definitely.
Was that the first time you performed in front of people?
Yeah.
And so you were using things that were from a very raw experience.
Absolutely.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
And this is a bit of a tangent, but have you ever noticed any specific nuances to like freestyling versus writing, and what access or what different qualities of healing that those two different mediums provide?
Definitely. And the freestyling is something I've really built up over the past 2 years. I was freestyle battle rapping, which is a little different, but then like really building on my practice of ciphering has been really important for processing emotions like in the moment, or processing emotions from that day. It has a more like immediate effect on me. It helps me to like go to a more neutral place and like self-regulate. When I'm writing, it's more of a time to process and to like kind of dig deeper, as opposed to having something where I don't necessarily have to like figure out what I'm feeling and go into all the nuance. I can just let it out in a productive way, instead of like, for me, like being on the spectrum, like I'll have a lot more anxiety, and that anxiety can manifest in unhelpful ways. And unhelpful ways can just drag you down and pull your self-esteem down. So for me, like dealing is a way to cope with my anxiety and get it out so that I don't have to deal with it in the future. It's done. Like that's just done for the day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's like miraculous to me, that something like freestyling, especially in front of people, like in the context of battle rapping, like there are somewhat of stakes involved there. It's not just you by yourself or with a couple homies or whatever, like, but then that for you, you're able to use that as a way of managing anxiety. Well, for many people that would be terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Like it's anxiety provoking, even just watching it happen. But so are you able to break down that nuance a little bit of how for you that actually becomes like anxiety management?
It is anxiety. Like my anxiety goes down if I'm really not doing well. Then I need to go battle, or I need to go to a cipher and be in front of people doing that.
Right,
Because like I'm only really listening to their feedback to know that I'm connecting with them. If anything, it feels like for me it's really hard to connect to people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very conscious of what I'm saying and doing to the detriment of like socializing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in front of other people and they're responding, I'm like, oh, I am connecting with people. So not only am I letting go of my anxiety, but I have this forum where I can actually succeed at connecting with other people, where as in like conversation I actually struggle. So it's like it's a win-win for me when I go up there, and I don't get nervous at all, like honestly.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I mean, it's so amazing too that you found a medium that allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
You found a language that worked for you in communicating and being able to connect with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I often think of hip hop and rhyming and freestyling having a lot to do with, I mean, obviously it does, but like neural pathways. Freestyling a lot to me is exploring neural pathways.
Yeah.
And so even just looking at autism and neuro difference and things like that, it's feels like there's a lot there to be explored potentially.
Absolutely. Well, my brain likes to freestyle just like all the time.
Right.
Anyways, it sees connections where maybe not everybody sees a connection.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm freestyling, I get to kind of enjoy the way that my brain naturally thinks.
That's what's up. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sums it up nicely, unless you have any other little tidbits.
Just I want to say, if anyone's intimidated by writing or freestyling, the most important thing is to just know that you being authentic and being honest is half of the battle. And even if that means you're going to feel embarrassed in the moment, or you're going to feel self-conscious, that's part of your process. So like, just do it anyway.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's dope. You write music as well, yes?
I do.
Where can you find it?
You can, so it's about to be everywhere, but for now, at least on SoundCloud, Jane the Message, and then maybe by the time this is up, you can look for me on iTunes as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Jane the Message?
Yeah, Jane
Easy.
the Message.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.